Hi, I'm Samantha McDouglas from thebridgeteachers.com. Come look over my shoulder at a defense problem. One of the tools that we have available to us on defense is to figure out what declarer's plan is and then determine the best way to counter it. Before we get to that, let's look at the auction. Our partner was the dealer and passed. Our right-hand opponent opened one spade, showing 5 or more spades and an opening hand or better. Our hand now bid 2 hearts, showing 5 or more hearts and 10 to 16 points. You may notice that our hand doesn't actually have 10 points. If the partnership is playing Michaels, Michaels would be a much better bid with this hand. If the partnership is not playing Michaels, and that's okay, you don't have to play every convention under the sun. What makes you a good bridge player is knowing what you know well. It's not how many different conventions you know. If you are not playing Michaels, then you might make the decision to push with this hand, overcalling with only 8 points instead of the required 10 because you like the shape of your hand and you like the quality of your suit. Whatever you would decide on this hand is fine. But this is a real-life example, and the person who held our hand bid 2 hearts. West now bid 3 diamonds, showing 4 or more diamonds and 12 or more points. This is a forcing bid because it is a new suit by responder. Our partner again passed, and our right-hand opponent bid 4 diamonds. Analyzing the 4 diamond bid is a little more difficult because East was forced to bid. I would assume that East does not have a stopper in hearts because 3 no trump probably would have been a better bid here. I would also assume that East does not have 6 spades because 3 spades would also have been a better bid. Bidding a minor is our last choice, so East should have exhausted the possibility of bidding a major and no trump first. But as East is dummy, we will see what they had in just a moment. On this hand, your assignment is to figure out what declarer's plan is. Part of what I want you to watch is partner's card on the first trick and partner's signal on the first spade trick. We are going to go through the first 6 tricks. And at that point, I'm going to ask you what you would do. You have the opportunity to counter declarer's plan and take significantly more tricks than if you don't. With no further ado, we are off. Our partner led our suit. Declarer played the ace. We signaled with the 4, saying that we liked the suit, and Declarer played the 2. Declarer now led a diamond. We showed out, signaling with the 3 of spades. This partnership plays odd even, saying that we liked the spade suit. Declarer won the ace, and partner followed. Declarer now led the 8 of diamonds. Partner played low. Declarer played low. We had to discard again, and the person who held our hand discarded the 3 of hearts. Another diamond. We discarded a club this time, and yet another diamond. We discarded another club, with partner following to all 4 diamond tricks. Now at this point, Declarer led the king of spades. It was our turn to play, and the person who held our hand played the ace. Partner played the 2. And here we are. So before I ask you what you would do, let's see how you did with your assignment. Where do we think the king of hearts is? In Declarer's hand. Why? Because partner led the 9 of hearts. Our lead agreements are that we will lead the top of nothing when we don't have an honor. When partner led the 9, this had to be the top card, indicating that partner did not have an honor. If partner had King Doubleton, partner would have led the king. We always lead the top card from a Doubleton. And if partner had had the king with 3 cards, partner would have led a low card. Since we know the 9 was not partner's lowest card, this means that partner does not have the king. If this partnership is playing standard attitude, in other words, a low card says that they do not like the suit and a high card says that they do like the suit, did partner tell us that they like or do not like spades? They do not like spades. This is the first spade trick in front of us. Partner played the 2, indicating a negative attitude. They do not like spades. Spades is not a good suit for us. What do we think Declare's plan is? To set up the spade suit for discards. There are 3 basic ways to get rid of losers. What are they? We can discard, we can trump, and we can finesse. Declare's plan is usually going to involve these 3 techniques. Why do we think Declare isn't planning on trumping any of their losers? Because they got rid of all the trump from dummy. If Declare had wanted to trump losers, they wouldn't have pulled 4 rounds of trump. Now we can't see any cards that might be involved in a finesse. It doesn't mean Declarer doesn't have a finesse. But the very first thing that Declarer did was play the king of spades. With a 5-card spade suit in dummy, I would anticipate that this is because Declarer is trying to set up the spade suit for discards. Our favorite way to get rid of losers is discarding. It is our first choice, so it would make sense that Declarer would be trying to do this. When we are faced with a discarding dummy, a dummy where Declarer is going to discard their losers on a long suit, we have 2 ways to counter this. What are they? The most effective way to counter a discarding dummy is to cash your winners. So you want to take as many tricks as you can right away before Declarer has a chance to discard their losers. In other words, if Declarer is about to play a long suit and get rid of a bunch of losers on it, we counter that by taking those tricks right now. Will this technique work for us on this hand? No. Why not? Because Declarer has the high card in both of the suits where we could potentially cash winners. Diamonds or trump. Declarer is setting up spades, which means that the 2 suits that Declarer would have losers in that they would be trying to discard would be hearts and clubs. We can see the ace of clubs, and we know from partner's opening lead that Declarer has the king of hearts. So we can't take our tricks right now because Declarer has control of both of those suits. This leaves us with the other way to counter a discarding dummy. What is that way? How would you counter Declarer's plan to make the spades good and discard their losers on the spades? By leading a club. The second way to counter a discarding dummy is to create a transportation problem for Declarer that will prevent them from taking the cards that they make good. Let's look at all 4 hands. We cannot take our heart tricks right now because Declarer has the king. If we lead a heart, Declarer will win the king, play their spades, discarding all of their losers. Similarly, we can't take our club tricks because Declarer has the ace. We can't cash our winners because Declarer has stoppers in both of those suits. So the only thing left to us is to create a transportation problem for Declarer. Now Declarer could have avoided this by playing a low spade to the queen on the first trick instead of playing the king of spades. By playing the king of spades, Declarer has blocked the spade suit. This has given us the opportunity to make this transportation problem even worse. Countering Declarer's plan means thinking about the hand as Declarer would think about the hand. So let's do that. Let's figure out what Declarer is going to do. I'm going to lead the Queen of Hearts. This is not what we need to do. This is not what we should do. But I want to make it a little easier to see. So we're going to lead the Queen of Hearts. Declarer is going to win. And now, if we were sitting west, how would we solve our transportation problem? How would we take our 4 spade tricks? The first thing that we need to do is unblock the suit. The spade suit is currently blocked because we have a high card on the short side and no little cards. So the very first thing we have to do is get rid of that high card on the short side. Now the second part of this process involves getting over to the east hand, and we are going to do that by leading a club. And now that we have unblocked the spade suit and gotten to dummy, we can play the jack of spades, getting rid of our heart losers, the eight of spades, continuing to get rid of our heart losers, and the seven of spades, getting rid of our club loser, taking the rest of the tricks for a very good score. Let's go back. So now that we know what Declarer's plan is, how do we counter it? By removing the ace of clubs from dummy. How do we remove the ace of clubs from dummy? By leading a club. By leading a club, we put Declarer in a position where they cannot use the ace of clubs to get to the good spades after the spades are unblocked. With the ace of clubs gone, when Declarer leads a spade to unblock the suit, Declarer is now stuck in their hand. And they can't get to dummy because there aren't any good cards in dummy. So now they can cash their king of hearts, but they are going to lose both heart tricks as well as the club trick. And now, instead of making 6, Declarer is down. Let's go back. We have one chance right here to set this hand. And if we don't do the right thing, not only are we not going to set this hand, but Declarer is going to make 2 over tricks. The only way to know what to do now is to be thinking about Declarer's plan and figuring out how to counter it. There are 2 ways to counter a discarding dummy. One is to cash your winners. We can't do that because we can't cash our heart tricks or our club tricks because Declarer has control of both suits. The other way is to create a transportation problem for Declarer so they can't get to those good cards. Now, we needed some help from Declarer. Declarer had to screw up the spade suit, but this is a real-life example, and this is exactly how the hand was played. Declarer led the king of spades on this trick. And when our hand took the ace of spades, they were given the opportunity to set this hand. And the way to do that is to kill the transportation to dummy. We can kill dummy, basically, which means that we can make dummy completely useless because Declarer can't get there. There is no other possibility for success on this hand. Either we lead the jack of clubs and we are able to sever Declarer's transportation, thus making it impossible for them to get there, or there is nothing that we can do. Because if Declarer can take all of those spade tricks and we can't stop them, Declarer is going to take the rest of the tricks. But if Declarer has a transportation problem and we make it worse by removing this last entry from dummy, we can now set the hand. Thank you. Bridge is a partnership game, and what better way to spend February than playing with your partner? Like and subscribe so you and your partner can share in our videos.